Hi everyone, this is Chef Mark with Appliance Factory Fine Lines, and today is Pizza Day. I'm so excited to share a pizza recipe for dough with you, and I have the most amazing way to cook pizzas. I'm gonna get to that later, but first, let's start with the dough. What is the most important part of the pizza? Is it the dough? Is it the sauce? Is it the toppings? You know, leave your thoughts in the comments. I think, my opinion, is that it starts with dough. And the dough is extremely simple. Just a couple of ingredients here: flour, water, yeast, salt, and oil. I got a recipe right here. I'll get that posted up for you guys. This is a recipe that's very forgiving. A lot of times I don't even measure. I just kind of eye it out. But for the sake of today, I'm going to go ahead and measure this out. And I think I'm going to do a half recipe. I'm going to start with our flour. 3 1/4 cup. I'm going to do about a little bit more than 1 1/2 cup. You see, I'm not measuring extremely carefully, but I've made this recipe so many times that I know it's really forgiving, so I can go ahead and just kind of get in there and trust my senses. I'm using instant yeast. Instant yeast, you don't need to bloom beforehand. You can just throw it right in there and kind of get to work. So see, I have kind of a formed ball here. So what I like to do is add a generous amount of flour right to my deck, right to my bench here. And then I'm gonna knead that in until I get the right consistency. Okay, I like to make a ball, and when I make a ball, I like to have all the seams on the downside. Yeah, I like that. I like that it's pushing back. Okay, so we're gonna let this rise. I'm gonna punch it down, and then the next time I see you folks, we're gonna be making pizza in a very, very special pizza oven, and I can't wait to show you. All right, stay tuned in. Okay, I'm out of my prep kitchen, and I'm here in the Monogram kitchen to show you the new hearth oven. I think this is the best way to make pizza. I'm so excited to share this hearth oven with you. Let's go take a look at some of the features that make this so special. Maybe you hear a fan running. That's this oven doing its job. Here's what I love about the oven. We got some presets. I'm gonna be making Neapolitan style pizza, so I'm gonna go ahead and choose that. Now it's automatically going to set my dome heat, which is the heat on the top of the oven, to 1300 degrees. That's amazing. And then the stone, the lower part, is going to preheat that to 675 degrees. So let's go ahead and get that kicking there. All right, and I can customize the heat if I'd like. Let's say I want my dome heat a little less, which I do. There we go. Now, what makes this really special is that this is ventless. What that means is it doesn't need to be vented externally. It'll fit into a standard 30-inch wide cabinet, just like a wall oven. And the way the magic works is that the heat runs through a catalytic converter and comes out at basically just slightly more than room temperature. This is just very warm, not hot. Certainly not hot enough to burn myself. So it reduces the heat from 1200 degrees all the way down to a comfortable temperature. And it's very safe. I've had this running for 4, 5, 6 hours at a time when I was testing out the oven. It doesn't heat up the kitchen too much, and then it also makes great pizza. So this is something that is really, really special. Monogram is the only people making anything close to this. All the other pizza ovens either require quite a bit of ventilation, or maybe a brick hearth, or they need to be used outside. So this is internal. It can be slid into any space, and it just works beautifully. So while I'm letting this preheat, let's go ahead, roll out our pizza dough, and get started making pizzas. I'm gonna be making 2 kinds of pizza. I'm gonna be making a classic Margherita Pizza, and I'm gonna be making a Pepperoni Pizza. So here's my dough. I let it rest. It's been resting for a couple of hours. You can see how nice and soft and tender the gluten has become. That means that we've let that properly rest. I'm gonna go ahead and start rolling out my dough. There's a couple different ways to do this. Some people only use their hands. I don't mind using a rolling pin either, but I'm gonna go ahead and start just rolling the dough out so that I can start turning this into a disc. So I'm just kind of squeeze, pull, squeeze, pull, squeeze, pull, squeeze, pull. You can see here what that does is that it naturally stretches out my dough. Okay. And then I'm gonna add just a touch more flour. Flour is important, it keeps it from sticking. I don't want too much, it really just kind of lubricates everything. And what I do with my rolling pins is start in the middle and work my way out. Start in the middle, work my way out. That way, I'm ensure that I'm getting really even rolling. Take my knuckles and I just stretch apart. Give that a little pull. Lovely, okay. This oven comes with a peel. I just want to make sure I have the right size. Yeah, that's a good size. And it came out fairly round. I don't think round's too important. I like to put just a touch of cornmeal down. I think that helps give a nice crispness to the bottom. Okay. And then finally, one thing I like to do, this is called a docker. And I just gently go through. That pokes a few holes in it, gives the gas a chance to escape so that it doesn't bubble up too much. Okay. With my tomato sauce, I just like a plain tomato sauce. I don't buy pizza sauce, I just buy good old-fashioned plain tomato sauce. I want the tomato sauce to be just a component to help carry the other flavors. Now this is going to be my pizza Margherita, and the Margherita Pizza, fresh mozzarella and basil. So I get my sauce on here. We're making a pizza Margherita, colors of the Italian flag. Here we have some fresh buffalo mozzarella, beautiful, and I like to have that just torn up, ready to go, like so. And then some fresh basil. We just want to tear that. Some people put the basil on afterwards. I feel like the traditional way, what I've seen, is to have the basil on first. That's great. And then just a sprinkle of extra virgin olive oil before it goes into the oven. Make sure it's not sticking to the peel. That's really important. Test that before you go over to the oven. Some people like to make their pizza on the deck and slide it onto the peel. You know what, if I'm making pizzas at home, I like to do it on the peel. I feel like it's just a more surefire way to make sure it's not sticking. All right, and into the oven. Let's take a look here. So I like to get this deep into the oven and then kind of start the slides, and then one pull. That's perfect. Okay. Now, we've got the base at 675 degrees and the top at 1200 degrees. We're going to give this a moment to start cooking before we start rotating. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to taste this. I hope this cooks fast. Well, I'm taking a look here at my pizza. We've got some bubbling going on. So I want a little bit of bubbling, but not so much. That's why, as I mentioned earlier, we go ahead and dock the pizza, poke some holes in it, and I see that it's rising. The bottom is starting to get that nice crispness to it. And then I'm just going to rotate. So when I rotate, I like to just kind of push it around with this metal peel. And we're very close. It's almost ready. It smells amazing. The mozzarella is melting just perfectly. And we're starting to get that kind of hallmark brown crust to the edge here. Just one little tip when you're making a pizza, make sure your sauce doesn't spill over the edge, because if it does, it's almost sure to stick to either the oven and or the peel when you're taking it in, putting it in and taking it out. So be really careful to leave that edge. The crust is critical to reduce sticking. Oh, look at this. See that color right there? That's exactly that nice golden brown color, that crispness that we're looking for. Another 10 or 15 seconds, it's going to be ready. It's taken about 3 minutes total in the oven. You certainly can make pizzas in a standard oven at home. I like to turn my oven all the way up to 550 degrees. But I find that you're never really going to get that pizzeria quality pizza without having this really high heat and that traditional stone. And look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful to me. Little classic pizza margherita. Okay, we're gonna let this cool slightly before we cut that. So while I'm letting this cool, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start on my pepperoni pizza, a little bit more of a traditional American style pizza. You can see here, just one more tip. I like to stick my pizza here on a piece of parchment paper when I'm done. Just makes it really easy to carry around, to cut, and for cleanup. So just a little tip at home. You can find parchment paper at your local bakery shop. Okay, next pizza. I'm gonna make a good old-fashioned pepperoni, more of a traditional American style. I'm gonna make this one a little thicker and see how that does. And I'm using that just canned tomato sauce. I don't cook my pizza sauce. I like to have a raw sauce. You certainly can season this, give it a lot of different flavors, but I find this to be, I think, the best way to do that. Plenty of cheese, plenty of shredded pizza cheese. I just buy pizza cheese, which is a blend. That's what I like. I find that works great for pizzas. All right, we're gonna slide this into the oven in just a moment. We'll see how long this one takes to cook. Now this time, I turned the temperature down. 700 on the dome, 400, 405 on the base. Because this is a thicker pizza, I want it to cook a little bit more slowly. So I went ahead and turned the temperature down, and we see here that the pizza, I can see already, I can hear just a little bit of sear on the dough, on the base, but it's not cooking instantly, which is going to give it more of a chance to set up. So while that's cooking, should we taste the margherita? It's rested long enough. I think I'm ready for pizza. Let's give it a go. Margherita pizza is traditionally eaten with a fork and a knife, but I'm going to break convention and eat it New York style. Give it a little fold. Oh my gosh. I need a moment alone. That slice was amazing. Let's go check on our pepperoni. Okay, here's my pepperoni pizza. The bottom, the crust, looks great. And you can see it's a little bit of a different style. It's a thicker pizza, a little less color around the edge. Let's give it a taste. Okay, here's a little tip. Put a little cold cheese on top of your hot pizza. Keeps you from burning the roof of your mouth. This is something that is very popular on college campuses. We call it cold cheese slice. This looks amazing. It's a little hot. Let's taste it. It's an entirely different experience. It's doughier, a little bit more chew, but it's absolutely delicious. I love the Monogram Pizza Oven, the Monogram Hearth Oven, because I've done other stuff in it. I've roasted salmon, I've roasted steaks and vegetables and potatoes. You can make an entire dinner out of that oven, but it really does excel at pizza. I just love it. So if you want to test drive this appliance, swing by any of the Appliance Factory Fine Lines locations. We have them live, and it's a great way to see if this fits into your lifestyle, into your kitchen. In the meantime, I have quite a bit of pizza to eat. I might share a slice or two. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in. This is Chef Mark with Appliance Factory Fine Lines. Make sure you like and subscribe. So good.